rides John Boy Blue with Randall Phillips up, the owner, trainer, and rider. Number 87 is the Proud Pusher. Tracy Farley is up. Mrs. Ferris Dudney, Mrs. Francis Dudney of Gainesboro is the owner, and Cross Creek Stables of Cookeville is the trainer. Number 95 is Sundust Royale Flush. Mitch Wright is the rider. Mike Wright.
It looks like Mick Wright.
Well, they're standing around right now and taking a little break because somebody is late coming into the ring. And the reason they're probably late coming into the ring, they probably had a change in tag.
What does that mean?
What this means is that probably somebody, and I'm going to use Nels Wright for an example, because that's one true supporter of the Putnam County Fair, just came out of a class, and they probably have to use her saddle or bridle or both, strip it off the horse that was on, and put it on the horse coming into the show ring. So they give them a few minutes call to see if they're going to make it. If they don't make it, as they've now decided, they go ahead and start class without them. Number 87 is the Proud Pusher with Tracy Farley at Mrs. Francis Dudney of Gainesboro, the owner, and Cross Creek Stables is the trainer. Number 95 is Sundust Royal Flush with Mitch Wright up. Mike Wright is the owner. Number 461 is Delight Twister with Randy Young up, his owner and the trainer. Number 100 is Donald Flo, Misty Phillips up. Phillips Shoe Store is the owner. Number 222 is Southport Stock. Odell Wittenberg's the up and is the owner, and R.V. Young of Sparta is the trainer.
We're very happy to have with us Heidi McWilliams, who just won that previous class, which was the Plantation Pleasure class. And Heidi, we're going to turn your mic on here, and maybe, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you made an excellent show.
You really did. You look so sharp. And
well, thank you. That's all part of the show business, I say.
Well, you did a great job.
Thank you. I'm a little bit surprised myself because I just recently purchased him, and we're just now getting him started in the canter, which is the third gate. There's flat walk, running walk, and canter in the Plantation Pleasure. And we're just now teaching him to canter, so I'm really surprised he minded me and did what I wanted him to do out there. I had a little bit of problem on the reverse side in the canter. He wanted to stop on me a couple of times, but with a little aid and help, I got him right back into it.
Well, you did a wonderful job. It was a great showing. If you can stay with us, can you stay with us through this class?
I would like to.
Okay, wonderful.
We're going to share some horse gossip with Heidi. Big Rocky R just won the World Grand Championship qualifying class.
Wonderful.
Last year's World Grand Champion, our trainer.
When did that occur? Just now?
Yeah, they just called us.
Wonderful. Well, we just came from Shelbyville.
I know, well, we didn't tell anybody.
We were down there Thursday. I made a pretty good show down there, too, with my stallion, and we took 7 out of 28 entries.
That's really good.
So I'm really pleased with that, too.
It's wonderful. Congratulations to you. And we've been telling people all night to get down and see you and Debbie as you'll be showing this coming week.
Well, bless you and bless the station. Bless America for being able to do these things.
Well, we hope that people will get out. What do you think about this show that we have going on right now in the ring?
The ring?
Yeah, what of the class? This class.
I have not paid much attention to it this time.
We got amateurs on walking horses.
Amateurs on walking horses is also a 3-gated class. Flat walk, running walk, and canter. And what I'm looking at right now, it's not bad at all. There's some nice-looking flesh out there.
Horse flesh, huh? And people flesh. They are good riders. We've been watching.
Yes, they are. And thinking of all these people are amateurs, I'm sure most of them just have time after work or a little bit in between. None of these are trainers. So I feel like they're all doing a great job out there. And it looks easy from the stand and watching. But when you're in the saddle, it's quite strenuous. I'm very dry right now.
We need to get you something to drink, don't we?
Oh, it's all right. But it does dry your system because of all the anxiety prior to getting into the ring.
Now, we were talking back tonight that this was the one class that you were going to enter all night, and that must be, I mean, it's already 11:30. Right. That must be really draining on you and the horse.
It is nerve-wracking. The horse, no, he doesn't know. He never knows when he has to go in or not. He loves to just rest and wait for his turn. But on the ride, it is very nerve-wracking. I rather ride in the first 3 or 4 classes. Get it over with, the excitement, and watch the show peacefully. I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about. But when it's one of the last classes, then you get very nervous with the situation the whole time.
Sure.
Yes, and that's why we all like this.
This is a good class we have going on here.
It is. It is a very nice class.
There are a lot of young people in this class.
I've noticed that too. It seems like I normally thought that these amateur riders start riding over 40 because that's when they have time, the children are grown, and they have time for themselves. But it seems like today there are more younger people getting involved in these things, which I think is wonderful because it gives them an opportunity to have excitement and do things besides sitting around on the roads in constant.
Right. It's a good, and Tommy Bandy was just up here from Allgood. He's only 20 years old. And
Yes.
he said it's a good way of meeting people and making good friends.
Absolutely. In my opinion, it is the most wonderful entertainment for Saturday night. Yeah.
That's true.
My Saturday night fever is showing horse in the ring.
And ours is watching you. So
Well,
you did a wonderful job. We don't want you to go away. Debbie, I think that is Mick Wright. He used to go by Mickey Wright, but the Y has been scratched out. So I believe that's Nelda and Wayne's son that was showing just a moment ago.
Okay.
And Tracy Farley was in there, Randall Phillips, Kay Stamps, Mary Tinch, Vicki Jones, Randy Young, Misty Phillips are all
Misty
showing.
Phillips is making an awful good show on her horse.
There you see Tracy Farley.
Tracy Farley does a beautiful canter, the third gate. She does a very nice canter. She's very well proportioned with the canter on the horse.
I noticed something I think about Misty. Now, Debbie, a rider just left.
He has to be excused. Maybe he had a tech breakdown. Maybe he already goofed up in front of the judge that we missed it. A number of things could have happened, but you have the right to ask the judge if you can be excused and go ahead and leave the ring early.
There you see Misty Phillips. Now, she seems to rock a little bit with the horse, and that's not
Well,
something that I've noticed many people doing.
No, they don't. This is just her style of riding. Everybody picks their own style of riding. Evidently, she feels most comfortable in the saddle doing this. The riddle with the horse. But it's just her way of riding. Everybody picks their own style.
She gets into the music and the horse
She does. She
rock
dances to the
rolls,
music
right?
and the
Yeah.
horse. And the horse seems to love it because he's in rhythm with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the crowd likes it, too.
They do. Very much so, yes.
She's having a big time.
Yes.
She is. All right.
She's entertaining and being entertained at the same time.
I saw a
Her
girl in
riding session.
Pulaski, and that's a big show in Pulaski, and she was on a real expensive horse coming around the ring in a ladies amateur class, and she goofed up, and as soon as she did, she came around in front of the judge and stuck her tongue out.
Here we see Tracy Farley, and Heidi,
She
you
has
had
a
mentioned
nice
that she
canter.
does a very nice canter.
Yes, she does. Her whole body is straight up, is in proportion with the horse's movements. She gives him a little lift with the reins to get this exaggerated motion with the head up and down. But yet her body does not change with her hand motions. She keeps the body straight, and I think that's a real good canter.
It is a good
This
canter.
is- You should establish in a good canter.
And the judge is taking a look now.
Yes, taking a look and getting the numbers off from which the judge thought would be number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And it's hard for me to tell because I did not watch every single one to tell which one is first or second. Now, you just have to watch them closely. Each horse to me is beautiful and good, but some just have a better reach and a better up and a better canter. So you just have to watch them closely. I just could not tell you right now which one should be the winner. I have not.
We've been talking a lot and looking around.
Well, while we're waiting for the judge to make his announcement for the master ceremonies to announce the final winners, let's mention to those at home again one more time, Big Rocky R has just won the qualifying class for the World Grand Championship, which we held next Saturday night. And in doing that, he has beaten the current World Grand Champion, Ducks High Tribute, has just been beaten. Night Prowler was beaten.
He was. That was my favorite.
So Big Rocky R is the top contender right now for the World Grand Championship.
Well, more power to him. He's a beautiful animal. I've had my heart set on the Night Prowler somewhat, but made the better man win and the better horse win.
Strange things happen. You know, EPN was down at the stables not too long ago and did a special on Big Rocky R.
Yes.
Well, they must have had a premonition then. We're going to go to Drew Huffines for the winners. We're going to come back in just a moment and talk with Heidi.
61 Delights Twister, and Randy Young of Sparta is the honor rider. Delights Twister is first. Second award in this class, second, goes to entry number 100. That's Dynaflow. Missy Phillips riding. Entry owned by Phillips Shoe Store of Monterey. Third award goes to entry number 2. R&R's Academy Award, Vicki Jones rides, riding for S.D. Burnett of Jamestown. Fourth award goes to 98 Ebbs Market Upsets. Kay Stamps riding. Smith and Sweat, Sparta the owner. Ebbs Market Upset is fourth. Fifth award in the class, fifth, goes to 95 Sundust Royal Flush. Mick Wright is the owner rider of Cookeville. Sundust Royal Flush 95 is fifth in the class, and all the riders deserve a round of applause. Thank you, riders, for your contribution to the class. The amateurs.
And our first place winner there was Randy Young of Sparta. He is the owner, rider, and trainer on Delight's Twister. And Missy Phillips then came in second as well from Monterey.
Missy made an awfully good show. She really did.
Heidi, we want to congratulate you again on your class.
Thank you.
The 3-year-old class no, the Plantation Pleasure class is one you won.
That's right. It was Plantation Pleasure.
And you really just look so sharp. I mean, everything just looked, you're just perfect.
I think so interesting about somebody who makes as good a show as Heidi does is to find out how long she's been riding.
That's interesting also. I've started with the walking horse shows approximately 7 years ago. I was riding plugs and just anything that had I could put saddle on. You know,
well, you have to
I rode them over fields. I just love horses.
She loves to ride more than anybody I've ever met.
I love to ride, the feeling of riding, and these horses are such powerful, beautiful animals, such beautiful God's creation. And to be part of them and being with them as much as we can, it's just a good feeling, and it gets the whole system straightened out again.
Now, Heidi, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was fixing to say that it's been about 7 years now.
How often do you ride?
I normally practice twice a week for about 30 minutes
on your
at the
show
barn,
horse?
on show horses, at my trainer's barn. But I have a 2-year-old at home that my husband and I both ride for practice, just to play around with, just to keep the posture straight. And
so you ride every day?
I try to, if time allows. If I ride at home, it is after 6, 7 o'clock at night, after I get home from our business. But normally I just do twice a week with the show horses.
How many horses have you got now, Heidi?
We have 2 show horses, which one you saw here, the Plantation, which just bought him a couple of months ago. So he's still a little new to me. We have to get to know each other a little better. And I have a 4-year-old stallion, which done very well this year. We took 7th in Shelbyville out of 20 entries. And everybody says just to get a ribbon in Shelbyville is an honor. So I'm really proud of that, too. And I'm trying to go back into the final championship this coming Saturday, and so are you, Debbie. So we'll be seeing each other there a lot. I have those 2 horses for the shows. And at home I have a broodmare, which is expecting another colt, October 6th. And I have 2 full brothers from her at home also that I play around with. You need to play with horses in order to keep from having fear from them, knowing their actions, and getting to know horses in general. You need to fool with them at home, too, a little.
So you're about to have 6 horses?
Almost.
You'll have your hands full, won't you?
Yes, yes. But mainly taking care of them is my, 6:30 to 7 o'clock in the morning job, and after 6 and 7 at night job is to take care of them.
We might as well enjoy our interview because it's entertaining to talk to, but we've also got a horse that's lost a shoe. Now, they've got exactly 7.5 minutes to get the shoe back on that horse. If they don't, they're disqualified. So the clock is ticking.
Now, does the mud cause that to happen?
The mud can take a big toll, and I'm surprised that we haven't lost more shoes tonight than we have. So, our farrier tonight's Richard Carrier.
Carey.
He's
the farrier.
Farrier. See the difference?
New shoes, right?
Yes, he puts on new shoes on these fine animals.
First thing he's got to do is check and see if that shoe can be back on. And if it can, they've got, like I said, they've got 7.5 minutes downtime. We see our ringmaster, Lloyd Murphy, out with the watch, timing them. And this is kind of exciting because usually usually the farrier comes running into the ring because the clock stopped when he called for timeout, or started when he called for timeout. So the faster that farrier gets in there, the better off that we are. Heidi, have you got anything you'd like to add to the crowd?
The crowd, I want to thank everyone here for giving me this opportunity for the interview, for showing my horse.
Well,
Siri on TV, I think that's a wonderful opportunity also for him. Sometimes we do great, you know. And it's just like anything else. If the price is right, we sell these animals.
okay.
So it's a wonderful opportunity to get exposed and meet on TV or in shows like this.
Sure.
So that helps a lot for... I don't think this one is for sale right now.
Well, thank you so much for coming back to show in this, in your county horse show. We really appreciate you coming all the way back.
Just to show my horse here with my folks here. I love Cookeville and I love the people here, and I had the opportunity to do that, and I was glad to do so.
Well, we really appreciate it, and let us know again when you're going to be in Shelbyville so the folks can go when you're going to be.
Well, if you like a report for what Debbie and I did down there, we'll give you a report.
Okay. Okay. That sounds good.
Heidi will be showing next Saturday night in Shelbyville, and she'll be showing in probably the third class that night.
Yes.
Probably about 8:30. She'll hit at 9 o'clock. She'll hit the show ring. Maybe 9:30.
And you'll be in the one right before her, right?
Yeah.
So go see Debbie and go see Heidi.
Yes. And as I mentioned before, it's much nicer to show early and enjoy the rest of the show.
So that'll be good then, right?
Yes.
Great. Well, congratulations, Heidi. and thank you so much.
you both. Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you.
Thank you, Becky.
And good luck.
Thank you,
Okay.
I'll see you in Shelbyville.
And we're going to have another interview here while the farrier is working away out there on trying to get that shoe back into place. He's got a hard job, doesn't he, Debbie?
He really does, because he's got to literally put this shoe back together. I'm not sure if they're really watching the clock on him tonight. Who have we got with us
I believe
now?
we have Randy Young. Randy is from Sparta, Tennessee. He is the owner and rider of Delight's Twister, and you just won the Amateurs on Walking Horses.
Ma'am.
How do you feel about that?
It's my first win of the year, and I'm real excited about it.
Well, congratulations. That's great.
I owe it all to the trainer, R.V. Young. He's real good horse trainer.
Now, are you all related?
He's my father.
Oh, wow. that makes it nice when your dad is the trainer.
Yeah, that's nice. It makes it a little better.
Well, congratulations
Have you
to
been
him.
going to other shows all year long?
Yeah, I've been showing for about 8 years. Since I was real little.
But y'all travel over the state.
Yeah, all over Middle Tennessee.
How long have you been showing on the particular horse that you showed tonight?
About 4 years. 4 years.
Has he always done a pretty good job
Yeah,
for
he's
you?
got first, second all the time. First and second.
Why do you like doing this?
I just got in it when I was little, and I just enjoyed it ever since. I think it's fun.
And I guess with your dad being the trainer, it's probably something I guess you all do as a family type thing?
Yeah, it's majority of the time.
Well, now, have you ever had this happen to you where you lose a shoe or anything?
Not in the show ring, but back home we have. Matter of fact, that guy right there comes to our barn every once a week to redo shoes and things like that.
Now, what is he doing right there, Debbie?
He's putting silicone in between the hoof and the base. It's like a cushion, and it just gives him a little cushion. Some trainers like a lot of silicone in there to give them a more cushiony lick. Just kind of bounce as they hit the ground.
But now, if he doesn't make it in 7 minutes, then that's
They have to go
right.
out. They have to go out.
So it's out of your control. Once it gets in his hands, it's out of your control, right?
Yeah. It's up to the man out there.
Well, is this your first show here in Cookeville?
No, this is the first time I've been here this season, but I was here last year, and I think I got second or something like that.
How many horses have y'all got that you work?
10.
10. And do you work them every day?
Every other day. You work them every day, they get tired, and just like, there's like times they get tired and down and stuff like that.
So how long does it take you to work 10 horses?
Just about 18 hours. It's just an all-day thing. The time you put them up, wash them, wrap their legs, and clean out their stalls and things like that. It's an all-day thing.
How do you find time to do anything else?
I try to do everything I'm at.
That's great.
Well, you certainly did make a good show.
Thank you very much.
You really... Go ahead.
Have you got anything you'd like to add to the audience?
No, just hello, everybody.
Well, congratulations to you, and I think we're going to try and see a shot of you in performance before you leave.
Okay.
You might want to comment on what you see. Here you are, I believe. Is that you?
Yeah, that's the third gate you're supposed to do, and that's called the canter.
How do you feel about your performance there?
Well, it looks pretty good.
Looks good to me.
Your horse hits what's called a case handshaker lick, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's just real out there.
Yeah, but he throws that hoof as he gets out with it.
Seems to have a really long reach there.
He's got more of a reach than most horses do. A lot of them don't have as much reach as he does. That's just the way he is.
That makes it good though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's good, especially now like tonight.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to you, and thank you for being with us. I think our farrier almost has that shoe ready to go, don't you?
Thank you.
So.
Thank you.
Man, Becky, it's been so much more interesting to me this year to talk to the winners as they come out of the show ring.
Yes, it really is. It really is interesting to do that because it makes the show, it makes our show more interesting, and hopefully it makes it more interesting to the folks at home. They can see their hometown favorite on a station.
And I think it's interesting to know how much time they put into it, how many horses they have, and the work that goes into 10 minutes of a glory ride.
That is true, because I know I was the concept, and I'm sure it's like that in anything. Even with our coverage, you know, it takes hours of preparation, setting up, and the engineers have to work on getting the cameras matched, and there's so much work, and relatively it's easy for me to walk up here and put this on and start talking. I mean, that's the easy part. And I'm sure for all of this, it's the same thing. The 10 that they are in the ring.
Now you're making me feel so guilty because all I ever do is come up here and talk.
Oh, but now you do it. It's really hard, though. See, you have a whole day of your own work.
That's right.
And then you have come here and spend your whole night talking to me. And I don't let you eat. I don't give you my candy apple.
Talking never came real hard for me.
Well, we appreciate the time that you give us. We really do.
Enjoy doing this. I really do. And I know that it's important for people like Paul Jackson's mother, who's at home tonight, Keith's mother, who's at home tonight. Mine should have been here. Bless her heart.
But she's at home tonight.
I'm afraid it is. But people that, you know, can't get out.
That's right.
They have no other way of watching the show. If you've enjoyed watching our coverage tonight and Thursday night, please let us know. Drop me a note at Cookeville Banker, or Becky a note at WCTE TV.
And we would love to hear from you and find out what your favorite part of the fair coverage is, or what you think about it.
If there's a class that you missed tonight, please let us know. Or let the fair committee know, or the horse show committee know, so they can add it on to next year's schedule.
Our address is WCTE TV, Post Office Box 2040, Cookeville, Tennessee 38502. And we would love for you to drop us any kind of correspondence about how you feel about our coverage of the fair. And if you feel like it is an asset to you and the community in the area. But Debbie is a rider. They just finished with the horse that lost the shoe. As one of the other riders, how do you feel about this time spent? You may have been really geared up, felt like your horse was doing great, now all of a sudden he's had to stop.
It gave the horses a breather, gave them a break, and they're fresh and ready to start again.
So it's okay.
It really didn't do them an injustice.
We do want to, I want to make a special thank to Jimmy Allen, who is the chairman of the Open Quarter and Walking Horse Shown at Halter event that was held earlier today. There are 26 classes in that, and they were all working on one side of the ring while they had the mule show on the other side of the ring. And from what I understand, it was a really successful event, and Jimmy deserves a lot of credit, I guess, for putting that together.
Because that was hard day's work.
And a lot of really young people were involved in it.
Yeah.
I mean,
they had several youth
classes. There was like a 2-year-old out there with a horse. Made me nervous.
Okay, Becky, we're asking these horses, and we're into Class 20.
Oh, are we?
And Class 20. the Style Racking Horses. Number 28 is Stock Market. J.L. King is up. J.L. and Cordell King of Fayette, Tennessee are the owner.
Laddie Key is the owner and rider from Crawford, Tennessee of Sarah Becca's Rocket, number 30.
And Gina Lay is the owner and rider of American Dream, number 47.
Bobby Holder, maybe, is the owner and rider from Greenback, Tennessee of State of Shock, number 48.
Number 400 is Mark Sundust Jr. with J.E. Thompson up. G&T Stables of Tompkinsville, Kentucky are the owners and the trainers.
Susie Moore is the owner and rider of Coldstock, number 68 from Lafayette, Tennessee.
Number 54 is Belder Shadow with Don Davis up. Herman Davis is the owner in Cookeville, Tennessee.
Teddy Turner is the rider. Bell Stables is the owner from Hillham, Tennessee of Tramp Star, number 500.
Number 332 is September Mary Star. Susan Davis is up. Jack Davis of Wartburg, Tennessee is the owner. Gordon Lee, Graham Stables, Knoxville, Tennessee is the trainer.
This is the next to the last class we'll have this evening. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage from the 1989 Putnam County Fair.
Our Style Racking Horses are on the reverse, and so we're in the last half of the next to the last class. Now we saw this white horse that's getting ready to come up on the screen show earlier tonight, I think, Becky.
I was wondering about that horse. I didn't remember him, but you do?
It may not be. This is American Dream with Gina Lay up, or Ginger Lay.
You told me now that at Shelbyville they have a white horse that comes out and opens the show.
Old Glory comes out every night promptly at 7 o'clock, turn all the lights off in the entire stadium. They turn one big spotlight on and follow him in. And there's absolutely nothing that's any more beautiful. Sylvia, that works for Dr. Jones, told me the other day that just thinking of that sight gives her cold chill, and it does so many people, because it is absolutely beautiful to have a completely black stadium and that beautiful white horse with American flag going around the arena while they play the
national anthem.
That's right.
The Star Spangled Banner. It's late. Okay. I don't get you to see very many white horses.
You
right?
don't see too many good, solid white walking horses. And I'm not sure. I had some literature to bring with me tonight to show to you of how many years Old Glory has been bringing the flag in at the walking horse celebration.
I believe our favorite here is going to be number 40 on this side of the grandstand anyway. That is Laddie Key from Crawford, Tennessee on Sarah Becca's Rocket. He certainly is getting a big cheer on this side, and here comes another one that's receiving that. I'm not sure which one it is. They're both by at the same time. I believe there you see Laddie Key.
Now you notice the tempo of the music's picked up a lot. Their speed's picked up a lot. They're in their fast track on your Style Racking Horses.
There is Laddie Key. He seems to be a real fan on this side.
Well, let's see if we can take another look at Laddie.
I have to really comment on Wayne Neighbors. He does a tremendous job, and you think having to play the organ solid since 7 o'clock.
But if you notice, just as the NC asked for him to walk now, please, he slowed that tempo down just immediately. And that little zerp, you know, let you know that they're ready to change gate. And then they asked for him to line up. He really cut his sound. Did you notice that?
Yes, he really did.
Now, these riders are in tune to that music. When they hear a different tempo, they know we're getting ready to go into the next gate. You always enter the ring in a flat foot. You then go to a running walk, or in this case, a fast track. You go back to a flat foot, you go to a canter, back to a flat foot, and a reverse. If you know the order that your gates are called, then it's very simple. When you hear that tempo change on the music, then you can go ahead and prepare yourself. to change gates. And sometimes that's really important because otherwise you might be right in front of that judge when they ask you to change gates. And asking your horse to change gates sometimes can cause him to miss a step or two and could possibly cause him to break. Where other horses, if the judge, you know, sees them change gates and they make a smooth transition from one gate to another, that can count against you considerably. So, being in tune to what Wayne's doing and Wayne being tuned to what the Master Ceremonies is doing really can help.
And I believe he played just a moment ago there a happy birthday salute to Nelda Wright.
Wasn't it nice?
That was nice. It's her birthday today.
She certainly did support the Putnam County Fair Thursday night. She had one horse that she loaned 4 different riders that went 4 different blues. But there were 4 people that would not have been able to show that night had she not been willing. And I tell you, I just don't know too many people that are willing to loan their horses out.
Actually, a really fine horse like she had there and has. She has several fine horses. There's some beautiful black horses in this competition tonight.
That's right. We have Don Davis down as being number 54, but that looks like a girl to me.
Oh, we got a special guest. Come on over here. Come on over here and stand.
We've have a celebrity with us.
Oh, there goes that mic again. I turned on. Sorry about that.
Sorry about that.
We have with us Senator Tommy Burks. He's a special guest, special guest.
Thank you, Becky. It's a pleasure to be here with you tonight.
We're glad to have you here. It's kind of late for you, isn't it?
Well, no, it's early. I'm like a lot of other people waiting for the hamburgers to go to nickel apiece.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, no.
Those are the days of the fair. That's right.
Yes, they were the
Are they
days.
going to have cotton candy for a nickel a piece?
Hey, I bet they might want to. That's what happens when they close down a fair, isn't it?
Yeah, you can get the hamburgers cheap then.
And there's our winner, I believe. We're going to go to the winner. We're going to come back and talk to you in a second.
Riding Tramp Star for Belleye Stables of Hillham. Second to Tramp Star 500. Third award to entry number 400, Mark Sundust Jr., J.E. Thompson riding. Get this entry on by G&T Stables, Tompkinsville, Kentucky. Fourth award, fourth goes to 28, Stockmaker, that's J.L. King riding for J.L. and Cordell King of Lafayette. And your fifth award goes to number 40, Carabecca's Rocket, Laddie Key of Crawford is the owner rider.
And Laddie Key, who seemed to be the crowd favorite, came in 5th there. Susie Moore first. Teddy Turner took a 2nd. J.L. King took 4th. And, of course, Laddie Key took 5th. Who were you rooting for?
Well, I was walking around the I didn't have a favorite in this, but I've been watching it most of the night, and this is the largest number of horses that I've seen here in recent years, because usually the Chevrolet show puts a lot of competition and on the same week that we have our Putnam County Fair. But seems like there's a lot of interest in the horse shows at this time, and it's real to see this.
We've had a really good, good show tonight. I think
It's been real nice, sure has.
And a lot of the people, or at least several, had mentioned to us that on their way to Shelbyville, they decided to stop tonight. And
yes, they do that. I talked to Troy York from Gainesboro a few months ago, and he will be going to Shelbyville, and he said he's going to stay the week over next week.
Well, Debbie is too. She's going to be showing down there
Yes,
as well.
I know, Debbie.
Well, Senator Burks, what's your favorite thing about the fair?
Well, all of it's my favorite. Since I've been able to walk or crawl, I've always come to the fair, and it's something you never get too old to enjoy. And it's for all ages, and there's something here for all ages. And I would hate to ever see it go to where we didn't have one, and I think that would ever happen in Putnam County.
I sure hope not.
I hope
a
not
highlight.
too.
It's
It
a
is a
highlight for
highlight.
everybody. We wait for it all year long.
We sure do. I do.
Well, when you find out where you get those hamburgers, come back and tell me,
I will
okay?
come back and tell both of you.
Look for the candied apples.
Okay, thank you, Senator Tommy Burke, for being with us, and we're in our last class now, Debbie.
Okay, this is our walking horse championship, our walking horse state class.
We've got several entries in
This
this.
is the best of the performance-style walking horses that are here tonight. Showing in this class is our last and final class. And this, the end of this closes the Putnam County Fair.
Oh, it's kind of sad,
It
isn't
is sad.
Makes me sad. It's going to be another year.
First year I've not been to the Midway. Let's take a look at who we got in here. We've got some really great horses. Of course, we've got the best horses in here that we've seen tonight. Number 78 is Stroller's Copy Boy with Damon Dodd. He is the owner and the trainer.
And he's from Jamestown. Jim Swafford is the owner and rider from Spring City. Also part owner is Mike Swafford. And John Swafford is the trainer from Pikeville. The horse is Prince Copy, number 179.
Number 7 is Clutches Just in Time. Randall Phillips is up, and he's the trainer and the owner.
Jim Messenger is the rider and the trainer and the owner from Moortrade, Tennessee, on Sons Rocket Again, number 86.
Number 580 is Mark's Wild Turkey. Steve Brownham's up. Mr. and Mrs. Donald Richards and John Wesley from Sparta, Tennessee are owners, and is trained by D&R Stables in Sparta, Tennessee.
R.V. Young is the rider and the trainer from Sparta, Tennessee, on Spirit's Black Phantom. The owner is Kathy Gibson from Cookeville. That's number 17.
Okay, let's take a look and see if we can't pick something out, because they're back in the flat foot and they're fixing to go on reverse, Becky.
And this is
That's Jim Messenger there we're looking at.
and we've got a whole class of them coming right here around the bend. We want to remind you that our picture may look a little fuzzy to you tonight because of the fog that has just set in here at the Putnam County Fair tonight.
Yeah. Now the judges asked them to reverse and continue at a flat foot walk. Now they're all in a bunch, and they're all in, you hear me? They're all in a bunch on the north end grandstand. So what they're going to try to do is spread out.
We want to thank Fred and Dale Scott, who came and volunteered to man our booth night. They are strong volunteers of Channel 22 and always do a terrific job for us. We appreciate them getting up there Saturday night to come down and help us out in our fair.
Becky, we've got an awful good class in here.
The crowd seems to be picking out a favorite. I can't decide yet.
Uh-oh. My favorite just kind of broke.
Uh-oh. Maybe the judge didn't see it, that.
I don't think he did. But he can't seem to get him back in gear, this guy with the white hat on. This good one coming up. That's a good horse. Look how high he's stepping in the front. Back end's getting down low. It just looks like he's scooting those hind feet up underneath him.
We want to remind you again that if you've enjoyed our fair coverage this year, you'll have another opportunity to see it along with all of the daytime exhibits and events that we covered during our highlights of the Putnam County Fair. That'll begin in December, and it will run one show a week until we run out of shows, I guess.
Judge has asked him to go at a canter.
Boy, they're awful close to the rail.
Yes.
Isn't it dangerous to get that close to the rail?
I'll tell you what, if you'll notice, sometimes they'll point the horse's head in toward the rail. It's a real funny thing. If that horse thinks that he's going to run in, you know, wherever you point his head is where the rest of his body's going to go. If you keep his head pointed into the rail, he won't run you into it. Because he will not run himself into the rail. So if you can keep his nose pointed into the rail, you're just that much better off. You need to stay as close to the rail as possible. Makes better show, and that's part of the rule of the show ring.
I believe number 78 there, Damon Jones from Jamestown on Stroller's Copy Boy, is a favorite, along with possibly Jim Swafford from Spring City on Prince Copy. once again, we will be having a special feature on the celebration, a sort of behind-the-scenes look. That'll be Thursday night at 7:30 on Upper Cumberland Camera, so be sure and tune in for that. Well, they're lining them up, and they're going to line them up on the other side. Although, now that we have a camera over there, we'll still be able to see. And you can see there's still several people hanging out.
Jimmy Messenger, that's showing in this class tonight, is the trainer of the horse I mentioned to you earlier, that's at Donnie Richards' Little Egypt, that had won a world championship and has had 3 colts that have won world championships. That's real unusual because a lot of show mares will not produce foal. So, but what's even more unusual is for that mare to still be alive at 27, 28 years old.
That is incredible.
Yeah, the life expectancy is about 20.
Wow.
But Jimmy Messenger that's showing in this class tonight is the man who trained that horse at the time that won the world championship.
There you saw Lisa Lovell, our Fairest to the Fair, and another one of our fair pageant winners. I'm not sure which one that was, but they're all beautiful young ladies, and they have handsome escorts.
I'm sure Monty Gall would appreciate hearing that.
Well, he is a handsome fella.
I tell you, we've got a lot of real estate agents that have been involved in this horse show tonight.
I know. I wonder why that is.
They just got a love for horses, except in Monty's case, he's with First Realty. I think it's a love of women.
Debbie.
He's a nice person.
He's with a top-notch girl out there.
Yes, he is.
He's with
he
the
certainly
1989 Fairest to the Fair, Lisa Lovell.
He's so nice, he'd be so embarrassed if he knew we were talking about him.
No, he'll let us know about it, I'm sure. There you see Drew Huffines, who has been our ring announcer for the horse show tonight, along with Wayne Neighbors, our organist. And that is our judge, who is from Arab, Alabama, Steve Clark.
Reminds me of Ray Stevens.
I know.
Arab.
Well, Donna told me when she brought it up here, she said, now this isn't Arab, Alabama, it's Arab. I said, okay. And I believe we're getting ready for the winner, so we'll go to Drew Huffines now.
Coming out tonight, I'd like to say a thanks especially to Steve Clark, our judge of the walking classes from Arab, Alabama, the quarter horse judge Celia Barrett of Lenoir City, Tennessee, our ringmaster tonight Lloyd Murphy of Cookeville, the organist Wayne Neighbors, Letta Bottoms working as a secretary, Jimmy Robertson working the center of the ring for us, and we'd like to thank all of these people, and especially all the young ladies that have presented ribbons, Miss Lisa Lovell, Fairest of the Fair, and Monty Gall, her escort, Samantha Carr, the young miss this year, her escort Joe Brewington, Trina Weber, the Fair Princess, escorted by Lloyd Steele. Thank you. And to all who have added to this show, we give you our thanks tonight. In the walking horse stake class, you'll run to the opposite side of the ring that you were parked on for the presentation of awards, and that first place blue ribbon and the trophy walking horse stake class goes to entry number 580, Mark's Wild Turkey and Steve Bram riding. This entry on by Mr. and Mrs. Donald Richards and John Wesley of Sparta. All other awards on the opposite side of the ring, and that second place ribbon goes to entry number 86, Sons Rocket again, Jim Messenger riding. The entry on by Jim and Doris Messenger of Wartrace, Tennessee. Third place in the class. Get that third place award ready for number 17, Spirits Black Phantom. R.B. Young is riding. The entry on by Kathy Gibson, Cookeville. Spirits Black Phantom 17 is third in the class. Fourth in the class. Fourth goes to number 7, Clutch Just in Time. Randall Phillips, owner rider from Cookeville. Fourth to number 7, Clutch is Just in Time. And the fifth award, fifth goes to 78 Strollers, Copy Boy, Damon Jones, owner rider, Jamestown. Thank you, riders, for making it a good show tonight. And to all, we thank you very much for your contribution to the show.
First place there going to Steve Branham, Mr. and Mrs. Donald Richards, and John Wesley, the owner from Sparta, Tennessee, DNR Stables of Sparta, Tennessee, the trainer on Mark's Wild Turkey.
Becky, I think one thing that's interesting to mention at this particular point is when these horses leave the show ring, they have to go first, second, third have to go back to the DPQ. That means they have to go back through an inspection, and if anything happened to show up on their feet or their equipment that might have not shown up before they entered the show ring, then they've lost their place in the second place. Say, for instance, if that happened in the first place winner, then he's removed and first place moves up, each place moves up a notch. So that's something interesting to point out, that they do have to go back through the DPQ.
It's not like just once they get in, then everything's okay.
No, after you win, you got to go back through again.
That's, wow.
That is. So the show's not over for them for a few more minutes.
For a few more minutes, they have to go on.
Now, when they leave, they've got to load these horses up, get all packed back up, get the horses back to the stable. Some of these people, say the ones from Tompkinsville, Kentucky, have got several hours drive back home. Once they get back home, they have to take the horses out. They've got to wash their feet back down tonight, wrap their legs back up, and then they can go to bed. They will not, any of these trainers, take these horses and just put them back in the stall.
And they can't just, like, decide, oh, we'll stop and go to the motel tonight and leave them in a buggy.
Not unless they have already
trailer.
treated them. So they have to do that.
Well, they've got a long night for them.
They sure do. And this one man that lost a shoe in the ring tonight's got some more problems besides that. Because if I don't know if y'all were able to notice or not, but they just patched the shoe back on his foot and he addressed it with insulation tape.
Oh, no.
So, you know, he's got some problems yet for another week or two to get that remedied. But it's been a great show. We had a lot of good horses here. I want to thank you for coming.
We sure do. And thank you very much for watching our broadcast through this entire week of the Putnam County Fair. Debbie, thanks so much for being with us again.
Thank you for asking me. I've really enjoyed it.
And we hope that you will come back next year.
I will be glad to. This is Debbie Norris.
And I'm Becky Robertson-Magura. And as we leave you, show you a little bit of what went on earlier this week with that chicken competition.
Good night, Mom.
Good night.
You're watching continuing live coverage of 1989 Putnam County Fair on WCTE-TV, Cookeville, Tennessee.
WCTE-TV, Cook, Tennessee now ends another broadcast day. WCTE-TV operates on Channel 22 with assigned frequencies of 518 to 524 megahertz and a maximum radiated power of 1,310,000 watts visual and 120,000 watts aural as authorized by the Federal Communications Commission in Washington.